And welcome to Dare to Disagree, your weekly podcast where we average Joes tell you guys exactly how to live your life correctly so that you don't fuck up no more. I'll be your host today, Jonathan Esther out of California.
This is Alone in the Dark out here in wonderful Colorado.
Co-conscious, Baltimore.
And we have one more host coming up on the show, Mr. Puppet Master, but currently he's having technical difficulties in his underground bunker where he, like all other way too good people, is preparing for the minority apocalypse.
I'll tell you what, man, I wanted a bunker myself, not because I'm really worried about any nuclear war, but just because I saw it on Malcolm in the Middle one time. That dad would go down there and lock himself in and just have the time of his life. Like, that would be fucking awesome. You're in a nuclear-proof freaking bunker, kids can't get to me. That's beautiful stuff, man.
All right, let's start with Cole Conscience. We know for sure he has a story.
Yes, a little different for today. I actually have a story. I just want to get you guys' opinion on it, of what you think. And have you ever had a situation like this? If I start to break up, just let me know, and
All right.
I'll hold off on it until I get home. But so pretty much, I've been joking about, and I just be like, hey, yeah, I'm fucking her, but I really don't want to fuck her and shit like that. Well, this is a girl that I actually cared for, while we was getting very intimate and shit like that. This girl, after a while, you get intimate for so many times. After a while, just one thing is like, well, I kind of care for the bitch, just a little bit. So, we would talk and we would go out and, laugh and joke and shit like that. I knew her parents, I knew her mother, I knew her brother, and I knew her, like, her aunts and uncles and cousins and shit like that. So it got pretty deep, and, I think one time something happened and we kind of fell off a little bit. But, I would check in with her from time to time pretty much on some, hey, let's, can I come over to see you, or do you want to go out, hang out, or some shit like that? And she would always say, no, I'm busy. Now, mind you, she did newly get a job, and she works Monday through Saturday, and Sunday she's off. But, it would always be like, yeah, I'm busy, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm doing that. So I just thought I became the bitch. I was like, okay, well, fuck it. I'm not going to really say much to her one time. But, as much shit as I talk, everybody knows that I'm a big fucking softie. As much shit as I'm talking, Don't let that shit fool you. I'm actually a nice guy outside of this goddamn show. But
When you're not wearing your freaking what's that shirt called? Affliction shirt?
I am Trayvon Martin shit.
Oh, damn. I wasn't even going there.
Oh, I don't know what shit you was talking about, but anyway. I hit her up one more time, and I stuttered a lot right there. But I hit her up one more time, and I was like, "Hey, do you want to hang out?" She was like, "Sure." You know what? We can't hang out today. I'm off, but I'm at the club right now. So could you pick me up, and then after we could just go out and do something, hang out. I'm like, okay, I'm not sure what the fuck we're gonna do at 2:00 in the a.m. But fuck, but okay, that's really all I guess I need, kind of. But I just legit wanted to hang out. So 1:30 gets there. She's like, okay, I'm ready to leave. You come pick me up. I drive to go pick her up, and like halfway there, she's like, never mind, I got a ride. I'm like, okay, never mind, you got a ride. So I'm kind of pissed, but I'm like, fuck it. I go back over to my coworker's house who I play music with. I go back over there, and like, as soon as I sit down, like, what's going on? I'm like, she said she got a ride. I didn't get that far anyway. I lied. I got pretty fucking far. I ain't get that fucking far anyway, whatever. But okay, that's cool. So I pick up the goddamn guitar. I go to put my ass in the seat, and my phone rings, and it's her. So I'm like, huh. So I answer the phone, and I'm about to like lay into this bitch, right? And she's just like, yeah, I know. I just need a ride. I'm like, wait. I thought you got a ride, but it's from some random guy, and he was like, you had to show some titties or give $10, and I wasn't trying to be needy. Well, obviously you're not trying to do. I'm like, well, obviously you're not trying to do neither, but okay, where you at? She's like, I'm on this block. Now, people probably don't believe where the fuck I live. I live down the street from Mondawmin. I live in the goddamn trenches, ladies and gentlemen. In the fucking trenches. Matter of fact, I'm driving right now. I don't know if you guys can see it, but this is like close to where I live at, and Mondawmin is down that way that I'm pointing to. But
Yeah, it's no joke.
right, so I'm on the east side of Baltimore. She's all the way on the west side of Baltimore. Not even close to downtown. It's near my house. So she got dropped off. I'm like, okay, where you at? Send the address, okay? And she's like, yeah, I don't know. I'm just upset. Just can you come pick me up? I'm like, okay, fine. So I bring one of my coworkers with me just in case I might have to stab a motherfucker. and I'm like, okay, where you at? And I find her. Now my shit is the trenches. She is down deep. She's in the middle of the goddamn war zone. Like, you wanna know how bad this fucking street is? Down the street, 2 blocks down from where she got dropped off at, was a fucking police station that is not open. Like, legit.
They just abandoned the front.
No, like legit. Police officers come in through the back, but if you go into the front trying to make a complaint, the shit is locked. The lights off, like it's closed. How the fuck is the police station closed? But anyway, she's down the street from a fucking closed police station, and I find her. She gets in the car. Now, mind you, she's been drinking a little bit. So she gets in the car. She's kind of tipsy. She's just in there, and she's not really saying much. And my coworker's in the back. I'm like, how you doing? Shit like that. We kind of catch up. She's like, hey, can you take me downtown? I'm like, bitch, did you just come from downtown? I'm like, where you going downtown for? She's like, I can't tell you. I'm like, well, where you going downtown for? I'm not going to take you downtown if you're not going downtown. She's like, I catch the bus. Now, she said I catch the bus, and once again, I actually do care for this girl. So, I'm like, I'm not going to let you catch the bus, and then you be in the same situation you were just in. I'm not going to do that. She's like, fine, just take me downtown. I'm like, okay, what are you going downtown for? Just tell me what it is. Is it detrimental to your health? And I'm joking when I say this. She's like, yeah, kind of. And starts laughing. She's like, no, somebody owes me money. I don't really pay attention to what the fuck she is saying. I'm like, okay, fine, I'll just take you down there. I'm blinded by, I don't know what the fuck I'm blinded by. But anyway.
It is.
Yeah.
I'll answer that for you, but keep going.
Yeah, exactly. I got my fucking coworker off, and I go take her downtown. As I'm driving downtown, we're laughing, we're joking, kind of like how, I'm not gonna say how it used to be, but it brought back kind of a memory. So I'm taking her downtown. She gets a phone call. I guess the person who's on the phone asks her where the fuck she's at, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm getting off on 83 now." I was like, "Okay," and she was like, "Well, do you know where Fayette Street is at?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I know where it's at." She's like, "Okay, well, they're right there. Just drop me, just take me there, and I can pick up the money." So I'm like, okay. Now, as I'm driving up and she's talking on the phone, I see a guy on the phone, and she's like, that's him right there. And I'm like, that's him right there? And she's like, yeah, don't judge me. I'm like, wait, I thought you said you was coming down here to get money. Now, I'm about to drive off with this bitch in the car, but apparently that's kidnapping. I looked up the law, and apparently if a bitch says no, just drop me off here. I guess that's kidnapping, I guess? I don't know. But I was about to fucking drive off with this girl. Because I'm just like furious. But I'm not furious to the point where it's like I'm yelling and I'm going into my usual dare disagree rants. Like, she's talking, she's like, yeah, I told you I was coming down here that you can just drop me off. And I was like, no, I thought you said bring you down here, then bring you back home. I didn't know you was going to, one, a fucking dude, and then two, where's the money that she's supposed to give? He's like, no, he's giving me money too. I'm like, he's giving you money and you're going to the car. Exactly. So I'm like, you know what, just get out. So she gets out her car. I'm like, just get out. I'm already furious. She gets out. I go back to my coworker's house and I explain the story. He was like, dog, I didn't want to say anything, but as I was in the back, you couldn't see it, but she was like, kept scratching her arms. And it was like, not like under her arms or anything like that, but like kept like rubbing the sides of them. It was fucking hot as shit here in Baltimore. It's hot as fucking here in Baltimore. And she was like, yeah, she's kind of like, it wasn't nothing really big. Like, she was just like subtly rubbing her arms, and she couldn't, like, you couldn't see it because she was kind of doing it away from you. But I see it because I was behind her and shit. I was like, damn. So I'm like, I wonder what that could be about. I mean, not jump to conclusion or anything like that, but it just kind of, it's one thing that's like, goddamn, I'm legit done with Baltimore at this point. I think everything, well, Slow Chemical says not really closure. He's like, if a girl cares about you, or if a girl knows you, that shit come back to you and explain what the fuck is going on in her life. Something might be going on in her life. that she's just doing.
Yeah, he's got a point.
Which was a strip club, huh?
Yeah, he's got a point, but I don't know if that's even a mess you want to get involved in.
Yeah,
There's
but like
in this one story, there's so many red flags already, and you're not done yet.
exactly. So exactly. So here's the biggest red flag until I thought about it. Once again, I didn't think about it because I legit cared for the girls. I didn't even think about it. But then his way it kind of got really tricky at. She pretty much was like, yeah, I was at the club, which was a strip club. I was at the strip club and I brought a drink. My drink was pretty goddamn strong, so I took me 2 hours to think, okay, well, who did you go with? I went with my friend who was not really my friend. I'm like, oh, okay, you went with your friend who is not really your friend. Where did she go? She wasn't feeling it, so she left. Okay, so who was you there with? Well, I know the DJ at the strip club. Okay, how come he didn't take you home? He didn't want to. Okay, so who was the guy who took you home? A random person. So, how you doing, mistakes? So, it was just a lot going on. I was just like, none of that made. The more I think about it, none of it actually like. It's one thing to be lying and like maybe a few things add up to keep you on the on like the verge or on like the edge and shit like that. But it's like none of that shit made sense at all. Not one thing came to conclusion. You know what I'm saying? And I already had a lot of scenarios like slow chemical thing, the same thing I was thinking. Cause like as I'm driving down town, thinking like this bitch is about to get me robbed. That's the first thing. No way in the world that this. Oh, they locked every door. Jesus, ain't no riots going on. They charged the cops already. Shit. It was just a lot going on. I just want to get you guys' opinion on it because it was very weird and none of it added up at all from top to bottom. So I just want to get you guys' opinions on it from the story that I told. I'm pretty sure I'm leaving out something, but it was really weird. It wasn't even that the fact that I got really mad. Only reason I got mad because I lost gas, but it was just a really weird experience. And like, what's you guys' opinion on what you think could be going on or whatever?
I think the biggest thing on all of our minds is you damn near just got yourself arrested too. Because think about this. If she was doing what I think she was doing, which was earning money instead of just getting money,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and you're dropping her off for that, you were committing a crime too, And I don't think the cops
Exactly.
here. Oh, I had no idea, man.
Yeah, pretty much. I didn't even think about that goddamn far because I legit didn't fucking know. And where she had me drop off at on Fayette Street is a goddamn. I don't know what it is with this bitch in police station, but it's dropped off at.
Jeez.
And that's the headquarters. So.
Man. It's
I mean,
it's all bad, dude. It's all bad. I can't even think of a positive. Because for me, I'm gonna tell you where that story would have ended. For me, that story would have ended after the second call. That's where that story would have ended for me. Because if I've already driven that far to get you, my response would be, "Look, I'm already at the house. I don't know what the situation is with you, but I can't come back out there. I drove all the way out there to drive back. I don't have that much money. Gas is an issue. But hey, man, you're a better man than me."
Yeah, I mean, what he was saying though is it's kind of, well, at least he knows her family.
Yeah. It's someone he cares about. He's willing to put the effort. Yeah.
Trying to take care of it there, and that's what's really regrettable. Somebody you're trying to take care of putting you at risk like that.
Yeah.
What I will say though is kudos to that guy number one who said titties are $10 and get the fuck out. Saved himself a whole lot of trouble, man.
Imagine the drama he could have been in, man.
My babe, I didn't hear your side story because somebody fucking decided.
He was snuggled up in his bed, got his blanket on. Fucking, you're out there in the cold, man.
He's sitting at home like, man, could have had titties of $10. Oh well, nighty night.
I mean, yeah, I don't know because he
Now,
circled back around. I'm thinking to myself, like, what the fuck are you getting yourself into? Don't know. And I'm going out the way, goddamn him, because fucking murder and Baltimore go together like crabs and bear, apparently. But goddamn, it's fucking ridiculous.
and crabs and beer are delicious together. That's terrible. Um, I do have a question though that I don't know if you've answered and I just missed it or something.
Sure.
Why did she tell you she went to the strip club with her friend in the first place?
And you know what? That's a good point. I think she said, if I'm not mistaken, she was like she knew the DJ. And mine just not the first club. I mean, this is not the first time her goes to a strip club. I mean,
Uh,
she's newly 21. You know what I'm saying? So
so
I guess.
now,
Go ahead.
okay,
Because
maybe
normally
I'm
she's working
crazy.
in the club.
Yeah, well, I'm not trying to jump to that conclusion. I'm trying to make sure I rule out all other options. Do you guys know any other newly 21 girl with her homegirl that might know someone that works in the strip club and go, we're gonna go hang out there today?
And leaves at quitting time.
Do y'all know anyone like that?
I've known a lot of strippers, so
No, not strippers. We're talking about women that, quote unquote, are not strippers that will go hang out in the club because they
But-
know someone
no,
works in the.
that's my point.
Oh,
That's my point.
gotcha. All right, just making sure. Got it. All right. Your girl might have a lot bigger problems, is what I'm saying. Just all around in general.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty fucking. It's pretty fucking weird, and like I said, you're right. There's a lot of goddamn roads you could go down of how fucked up this whole entire situation is. But it was just like legit. I was like, what the fuck is going on? And it's one of the things too. Now I'm not sure it could have been the fucking alcohol or whatnot. But I just like when she got in the car, she just kept looking straight. She was kind of looking through me, and I'm just like, God damn, this bitch, right? Like she's got fucking gagged and fucking bound some goddamn way, thrown onto the fucking street. It was just ridiculous.
Yeah, I've been to some strip clubs like that.
Here's the funny part, man. I can 100% relate because I got to watch someone, one of my nieces, straight up go from like this pretty cool little chick to a heroin addict to recovery in the span of like 3 years. And Alone in the Dark, you actually might remember this girl. She was a really skinny girl that dreamt of being a movie star.
Oh, yeah, actually, I think I do know.
Yeah, well, she just went through like a legit heroin phase for like a year. I mean, minus the arm scratching. And recently, here's how I knew things were getting better. I came back to see her one day, and she was looking thick, and I was like,
All right.
she didn't find it as funny as I did.
Hey, you look a little fat. You might want to get back on the shots.
I was just like, man, you finally look decent. Look at you. You look like you could date somebody and not just fall to bits.
Hey, but back to your story, Mike. I mean, of course, there's the conclusions we all are automatically jumping to.
Yeah.
But especially with the career you're looking for, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
You need to start hating black people now. I know they normally say.
Listen, bro. I work at fucking customer service enough as it is, and the black people at my goddamn job, I already hate black people. I can't wait to start putting my foot into black people's asses. Shit.
God damn.
This is how it starts.
That's not what.
Hey, I mean, look at and that's the sad part, man. Is taking advantage of somebody giving you a ride, and you're trying to send them to jail. You know what I mean?
Like legit hopped in. I mean, and she might know the dude. I mean, she had. Then again, that could mean that it's a fucking customer. She did have his name in there, but I didn't really check it. But like, he was like legit in the corner. It's like, oh, that's you right there. All right, like, god damn. And you never know. Like, slow coming had the thing too. He was like, well, maybe you know, this guy's taking advantage of her money and shit like that. It's like, hey, just have this motherfucker. Do you have anybody who you know could take you downtown? Because I'm not fucking driving you downtown.
Could be too. Could be too.
What? And
There's
what's
no
and like I said,
scenario that's good.
right? And now the more I talk about it, it doesn't make sense either because she got a ride from a random guy. If she got a ride from a random guy, she was going home at first. Why would she come back downtown? She was going home. She might have just waited downtown for that guy. Like none of this shit is making sense.
Well, remember he had money to give her, you know, that he owed her.
I mean, that guy might have been another person that was giving her money. You know.
Judicious use of English there, Mr. Alone in the Dark.
Yeah, I was trying to find my way around that, but that's she might have been. He might have been.
Yeah, he might have owed her money from like where.
Yeah.
And we all know here, even though I'm not as old as you guys, we all know anytime a female says, "Don't judge me," that really means that they're doing something no fucking good.
Yeah.
Because guys said to their friends like, "Bro, don't judge me. I'm fucking this fat bitch. Don't judge me. She's paying for my bills." You know what I'm saying? With like girls, when they say "don't judge me," they legit mean "don't judge me" because I'm doing some illegal, off the wall type shit. So like that's the first thing. Before I can even get the words out, that's the first thing she said. "Don't judge me." I'm like, huh? Nah, that's why I seen the guy simultaneously as she said. I'm like, oh,
and
but you.
The judgments just came from your heart.
That whole statement, "don't judge me," always sounds to me kind of like I'm not a racist, but it's always like, you know, I'm about to judge the hell out of you. Because what you're doing deserves judgment. So, hey man, I think what's your plan going forward with this broad? I'm sorry, Puppet Master is obviously driving a 7-ton.
Honestly, where do I go from here? Dog, I don't think I ever have it. I might try to hit it one more time. Like, are you sure everything is okay? It doesn't want to open up. It's one of the things that there's nothing really I can do. I mean, dog, the date is December or early January, and I feel like at this point everything is kind of closing itself out as far as closure for right now. Because I haven't talked to her, I haven't seen her, and it's the first time I've seen her in months. This shit happened. This is one of those things was like, you know, December. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's the way I look at everything now. It's like everything I decide now is like it's closure. You can either be here or you cannot be here, but people still don't have it in their minds or believe that I'm actually taking this California thing seriously. What's kind of gets to me sometimes, but I'm like, hey, it is what it is. You don't have to believe me. Who would fucking believe that once I come back from California, that, hey, I'm just going to up and move to California in December because I fucking feel like it. There's a reason I moved to California. I can't just fucking feel like it. But, you know, it's one of the things where it's like, I might try to reach out to her because whatever it is, I hope she's doing fine. And I remember one time I was texting her. She was like I was like, can I come over? She's like, no, I just can't. You don't understand. I'm not treating you any type of way. You just don't understand. I'm like, well, what's going on in your life that I don't understand? Have me understand what's going on. And she never texted me back. So I don't know what the fuck is going on in her life, but I might try to hit up one more time. But that's pretty much gonna go against everything that, like, you know, of me just cutting the bitch off. Because let's be honest, I got played. Let's be honest, I got fucking played like a fiddle.
Well,
and, you know,
it ain't necessarily like Alone in the Dark said. It's not necessarily. You only get. No, you did get played because you didn't know what you were getting into. You only get played if you don't understand your situation. So I think that is the right course of action. Just ask her honestly, like, dude, what's going on? Odds are, if she's been responding the way she has, she'll probably respond the same way again, like you won't understand, and just be like, look, unfortunately, if you can't be open and honest, I don't know what's going on, and it sounds dangerous, and I really don't want to be involved.
Hey, we got a question from our audience here. They said, if you guys were in that situation, would you just have had sex with the girl instead of dropping her off?
My answer is no. Just there's too much drama wrapped around. Wait, before I even finish this question, scale of 1 to 10, how's this broad?
She's a 7.
Ah, it's actually pretty good.
Yeah, she's a 7, but her personality is one thing that captivates me because like she's not. I mean, she might be one of the dumb Baltimore bitches now, but you know, when I first I met her through a friend, and you know, mind you, it took me only 2 days to fuck her, but
In defense of this hoe,
In defense, I did like her fucking like her attitude and shit like that. You know,
Yeah,
I did like her attitude. I like the her fucking mother loved me because I always had that motherfucker laughing all the goddamn time. I didn't want to even say that. I'd just be like, hey, she'd be like, ha ha ha. Like,
Jesus Christ.
what the fuck? Like, what the fuck is so funny, bitch? But you know, I give her a 7, and you know, personality means a lot to me. You know, sometimes.
yeah.
That's long.
My biggest worry about fucking her would be, am I gonna get charged for prostitution here? You know what I mean? You could get hemmed up in that corner real quick, you know? No, I wasn't paying. I was just giving her a ride to her next fucking John.
I mean, that's why ultimately the answer for me would have been no. Because for me, after that second call, like I've had situations where I've had that before, and there have been some times I've helped the person, other times I haven't. But after that second call, usually my patience is a lot thinner at that point.
yeah.
I got another thing from our audience saying Jonathan Esther would have fucked her if she was a 0.
That gotta be slow chemical.
That's gotta be because I wouldn't. I wouldn't.
Oh man.
I don't even have to defend myself with that.
I just that's and here's my thing.
I wouldn't
man.
have. I wouldn't. Ew, that's a terrible situation to fuck someone in, though.
I-
That I would. I mean, I don't know.
I will give up a lot of stuff to help somebody out, but the one thing I won't give up is my future, and I think that's what that relationship might cost you. You know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, absolutely. And like I said, it's one of those things where it's like, now that you guys explain it, obviously I understand now. It's kind of one of those things like, what the fuck is going on? But now it's just like, God damn, what the fuck is going on? Now, I don't like to jump to conclusions like, once again, but her mother usually comes to my store. Usually used to come to my store because my store is right down the street from where she lives. So you know, while I was like, you know, talking to her with her shit like that, and I like, you know, we was doing our thing, I would either come from work, you know, go to our house, fuck her, and then go home, or come before I go to work, fuck her, and then go to work. So like, it's right there on that fucking shot to my job. And I haven't seen her mother around for a while. Not saying that anything might have happened, but you know, or maybe just one thing is like, you know, you have freedom at 21. Finally, you motherfuckers don't know how to handle it. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Which is also odd too because she works and she gets paid. And she was like, I have $10 on me, but I'm not going to give nobody $10. But yet you're getting money because you need money. You see what I'm saying? Like, shit don't make sense. And obviously you guys understand shit don't make sense. But while you're in the situation, you don't really start to put shit together until you start talking about it and thinking about it and thinking about it. So, you know. Well, at least me anyway. Now that shit was to happen, you know, that's the first time that shit ever happened to me, something like that. But now, obviously, I know the signs to look for to be like, all right, fuck you and fuck that. But, you know.
You know, if you were driving for Lyft, you just had to put your tag in the window. Just no, I'm just taking her somewhere. Just business relationship.
Helping this customer out. That's all.
Yeah, you know, I might have to get Lyft and just go to fucking like College Park and just drive bitches around because College Park might not be a good idea because it's right close to the campus, so nobody is fucking driving. But you know, because goddamn, oh my lord, yeah. But go ahead.
Yeah, dude. I mean, that's my thing. Is you got to look at what it costs you, and trust me when I tell you, you could not drag anybody out of a situation they don't want to get out of. And I've made that mistake a couple times in my life, and it's never worth it, you know.
Yeah, kind of like how J. Cole sent his new song, which I guess he got from Project Pack. I didn't know until Slow Chemical told me. He was like, yeah, well, I'm going off of what J. Cole said, obviously. But he was like, hey, you know, she don't want to be saved, don't save her. So
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a Project Pat song from way back.
Can I get a ride to Cano? Okay. To your Cano.
Canoe.
Sorry.
God damn. God damn, man.
That's that Baltimore City public school education fine at work.
Kicking in.
Kicking in so hard. Kick it! That's what it is. God damn.
Now
You gotta.
you need to quit giving people rides though.
Yeah.
This is really hurting you.
Yeah, god damn, you ain't lying. I legit, you're absolutely right. I looked at my fucking gas tank and I was like, what in the fuck did I do? And it's just goddamn weird, It's just goddamn weird. But do it, because
Yeah. I don't know, man. Run away from that situation. Trust me. I know it sucks. I know you're gonna want to think, man, if I help her, I can pull her up. It's impossible, man. I've tried multiple times in my life, and the only thing it ends up doing is just costing you shit out of your life. You know what I mean?
And I actually had something funny, just to kind of like, well, did everybody give their opinions on it? No opinions or anything like that?
Yeah.
Okay, I actually have a fun story. That might take long. I might save it for next show. We'll get to you guys' topic first, and then maybe we have time after I tell the funny shit. Go ahead.
All right, let's jump over. You can make me cry here, man.
Yeah.
You're a lost soul.
Cold-blooded.
And then really that kind of goes into the next topic a little bit, okay? Which is, and I saw this topic raging online. I didn't participate in it, but I saw a bunch of people arguing about it, and it was, is rape worse than murder? What do you guys think?
God damn.
Is rape worse than murder?
Yeah.
I mean, both are pretty heinous goddamn crimes. Here's the thing. I'm not sure why there should be an argument of which one is worse. It should just be one thing like, hey, let's get these fuckers off the street. I don't believe there should be which one is more heinous than the other. That's just me, though. Doesn't matter. Either way, it's fucking somebody up,
All right. I don't think one's worse than the other. I think one's more permanent than the other. I think they're both equally should be punished the exact same way. Execute those motherfuckers.
Yeah.
That's simple.
I mean,
I don't think that rape's worse. I don't think rape, and murder's worse. I think that they're both heinous fucking acts, no matter what. And to argue which one's worse is like mitigating the actual feelings of the people who are affected by this.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that can come of that argument right there, is to say, well, rape victims shouldn't feel this way because of this, or murder victims or their families shouldn't feel this way because rape's worse. They could have been raped, and that's the only outcome of this argument, is to mitigate the feelings of someone who is affected by one or the other.
Yeah, and the reason, because it was kind of an interesting thing, and most of the thought process behind why rape was worse than murder is because you have to live with it afterwards,
Well, at least they have an opportunity to live. That's the thing.
Yeah.
When you're dead, you're dead. You don't even get the opportunity to possibly try and deal and overcome and become a better person from it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's taken from you. You're done. When you're raped, I mean, yeah, it fucking sucks and it's heinous as shit. But you have the opportunity to still make something of your life and be somebody. You don't if you're murdered. So.
Yeah, and that was kind of mad because I asked a number of women that, and I got kind of mixed responses, over who would thought which was worse. Some women were saying that they think rape was worse, and I noticed there was a lot of mothers who picked murder being worse. And I was kind of wondering if it had something to do with, at the end of the day, rape is terrible, this and that, but the worst thing that could ever happen to me is not being able to go home to my kids.
I can see that. I can see that being part of the argument, but I don't know. I'd have to hear it from their mouth before I make that assumption.
Yeah, it's not like one of the things you could like Puppet Master said. It's not really one of the things you can really make, like either or. You know what I'm saying? It's like fucking what's the old saying? Apples or oranges? I don't fucking know. But
Yep.
yeah, it's
6 in
kind of
one, half a dozen the other.
yeah. I never heard that.
What? Damn.
Bro, I'm from Baltimore. Give me a break.
Uh,
Really pick one.
do you know what a
But
dozen
yeah,
is?
no.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah. No, of course, motherfucker. Only reason I know because we have crabs here, so you have to. But
At least he's honest.
What about you,
yeah,
Mr.
you can't. You.
I'll be honest. Originally, I started off like Puppet Master, man. It was a terrible decision. I didn't want to make it, but I was like back to the wall murder. But I'll be honest. The more I've thought about it, I'd have to say rape is the worst.
Yeah.
Like if I was okay. If I'm murdered, there are a million ways it can go down. It can be a painful, bloody, terrible thing that would suck. No argument there. It could also be extremely quick. It could be, bullet to the back of the head, explosion of a grenade, yada, yada, yada. There are millions of ways you can go down dead that can be quick and fairly painless. Well, comparatively painless. But with a rape, man, it's just... When I started wondering, like, okay, yeah, you can recover from a rape eventually. But from us thinking about someone else getting raped.
Yeah.
Whenever you think about someone else getting raped, you go, yeah, you can recover. It's brutal, but you can make it through. It's tough, but you got to figure it out. But if you take a single second and think about us getting raped, like ourselves, the answer becomes real clear all of a sudden. I'd rather die. Imposing their physical will on me completely with me being unable to stop it in any way, shape, or form and to completion, yeah, I'd rather die. I'd rather die. Terrible either way, but if I had to pick one, kill me. Don't rape me.
I think, in all honesty, I probably would pick the other way,
Yeah.
Well, see, here's the question, Dave. When you say rape, are you talking about someone penetrating you or like a female raping you? I mean, and don't say that can't happen because it can.
No. It can happen. It can happen.
So which one is one like more would deter you from picking rape over murder if you were raped by a man or rather than raped by a woman?
Now, I'm one of the weird guys that even though I understand that male rape occurs, I don't think it would occur with me bad enough where it would traumatize me.
Yeah, he's African, man.
That's part of their culture, right?
Yeah.
That's a rite of passage. Like it's like back in the day when they had to go hunt lions and shit.
I think to me when a woman rapes a man, for me personally, again, I'm not talking about anyone else. I don't know how anyone else stands on this, but if a woman was to rape me without penetration, like I'm the one doing the penetration and she's just forcing her will on me, I can close my eyes and imagine Carmen Electra, and this becomes a whole different story for me.
I don't know. To be raped by Big Bertha and try to think Carmen Electra.
I'm not saying it would be. I'm not saying it would be 100% plausible. We're calling it a rape for a reason.
Got you.
For me, to answer Puppet Master's question, at the end of the day, I'm talking about penetration rape, like us getting penetrated.
Okay, so you're saying being raped by a man,
yeah,
would make you choose death over that instead?
Yes, in a heartbeat.
Okay.
In a heartbeat.
Okay. I just tried to get where you understand where you're going with that.
Yeah, I just can't. I don't know.
Yeah, I know, because you guys are trained goddamn Marines. I'm a scrawny ass 175-pound black person.
Add your height there, scrawny ass.
Okay, 6'2", but still though, I'm
Thank
scrawny.
you.
So if big fucking Cornelius come over and I gotta defend myself, God damn.
Help! I can't swim!
God damn. Like you guys got some fucking tactics.
He gonna walk up on Cold Conscience like Cold Conscience is a beef jerky. Ah. So what about you alone in the dark? What
Boy,
about you?
goddamn, man, it's only two choices I have.
In all honesty, number one, I understand that there are men out there who have been raped by women and who can be raped by women. I just don't think I'm one of those men. Okay. Even if Big Bertha was, fucking, and that's kind of the point. I don't think a woman can fuck me. Even if I was tied to a bed and she'd give me Viagra to get me hard, at the end of the day, I'm fucking you. That's
But
what's working here.
I will say this. I will say this. I have a friend that got raped, and the way he described his experience, it started out fun. It got not fun around hour number 2.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Like it stopped being fun there because it's like we're past pleasure now, and we've all felt that feeling when you've gone too hard too long, and the next day you're sore. Now normally that's a badge of honor for most men. You just live through the pain, like the pain of that's the price of doing business that way. Having that kind of a good time.
You go to work and show your friends, look at that thing.
but
2.5 hours.
but
Straight.
his point was like by hour number 2, ejaculation number 3, it had stopped being fun. When they took a break and came back by hour number 3.5, he was way past done with this whole scenario.
Jesus.
Yeah,
we're fucking him.
It wasn't one chick. It was 3 different chicks that just used him. He became a dealer. and when we talked about it, like he was kind enough to like open up. But once we talked about it, he was like, "Look, man, past the first hour was great. It was honestly every man's fantasy. He's like, the first hour was amazing. They did anything and everything you would want as a man tied to a bed with 3 women around you." He was like, by hour number 2, but here's, for example, like when and this is where my language is going to get a little graphic, when he nutted the first time, they didn't stop.
Oh.
They kept rubbing. You see what I'm saying?
So
they didn't stop. They kept the rubbing, and at that point in time, he's a candle wax kind of guy. So it sucked, but he was still game. It's around the 3rd time they did that it became brutal for him.
Oh.
And by time number 3, his physical response, like he was numb. He was like, I was numb for about 10 minutes, and I was like, oh, thank God, I can't do anything anymore. They can't physically make me do anything anymore. But after a while, they can't do anything anymore. But he was like, after about 10 minutes, they figured out how to get him hard again. That was beyond his control. And at this point, he's like, even being hard was painful, much less the actual intercourse.
Man, after I nut once, I need 8 hours of sleep and a bowl of weed. I don't know what that guy was.
No, he was, and that's what I was saying. It sounds like a ton of fun until you look at it in, like, if you actually encounter someone who's been through it. And there's stories that vary. I know a gay person who was like, I was raped, and I was like, what happened? He was like, I told her no, and she slept with me, and we took a nap after. And I was like, you weren't really raped, dog. You were uncomfortable having sex with a woman because that's not what you're into, but you weren't raped. But this dude was like, he likes women, and that was, in his case, I was like, man, I feel terrible for you, dog.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I feel terrible for him, but I feel a little bad.
I feel terrible.
3 goddamn hours. Shit.
I don't know how the fuck, after I nutted the first time, these bitches gonna be doing the mashed potato trying to get.
Yeah.
No, and he was like the girls knew what they were doing. Like the way he described it, they were doing like porn stuff. Like when he went down the first time, the 2 girls rubbed their breasts together on it.
Oh.
So it was one of those things where he was like, how can I not get hard?
Man,
you know what's so crazy? He probably actually could have died from that, because I think when you ejaculate a certain amount of time, because one kid actually died because he jacked off, I think, like ejaculated like I think 40 times in one day, motherfucker died. I don't know how like you could ejaculate that many goddamn times because like after the second time, it's nothing but a fucking flag with the word bang on it. After a while, that comes out when I try to fucking. Apparently he 40 times. God damn.
Now this guy, he said in total that night he hit 4 that he felt. After that, it was just pain. After that, it was just pure pain.
One of our audience members said rape is worse because the person still has to live with the pain, and the rapist needs to be gagged, pissed on, crucified, and burned in that order.
Amen to that. I can't argue.
Yeah. That's like, cold-blooded. I mean, and here's the thing. Here's a point somebody else made, which I think has some degree of validity to it, okay? Somebody else was saying, and it was a chick who had been raped, okay? She was saying she hates when people do that, say that rape is worse than murder, because it's telling women who got raped, you are destroyed, you are freaking just over with, your life is over, you'll never get back from it, and that's what they do.
Yeah.
Like, you know, going with that train of thought of, you know, yeah, that was worse than murder, what you went through, your life is over, that's telling these women, no, there's no way you can get past it, and making it worse on these women.
Yeah, it's like the story of that, remember the army girl that got raped?
You have to be more specific than that.
Oh crap! I forgot what her name was. They had a whole thing about sexual education on Last Week Tonight with John Oliver on HBO. They had a whole thing about sexual education, and they brought back Amy Smart, something Smart. Hold on, I'll look it up. But anyway, so this army girl got raped, and she was giving like a whole a talk about it, and she was like, one of the terrible things she had to endure when she came back was Christian members of her family basically treating her like she was used up,
like spoiled goods.
Yeah, cause and she was like, I had nothing to do with it, and she was like, I had nothing to do with it. It was out of my control. I was religious. I was always good, and they still treated me like I did something wrong. Like she was ostracized as if she had screwed up.
Which happens a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's regrettable because, and somebody with that same lady was saying that is tying back to I can never pronounce that word. What's that word? Male-dominated society, patriarchy, right?
Yeah. Patriarchy.
Where women are being treated as if their sex is the only thing that matters about them, and that's why this is worse than murder. Because now you're just a fucking ruined, spoiled goods, you know? And when there's a lot more they have to, you know, that isn't a big part of their freaking, what they have to offer, you know what I mean? And I totally agree, if you have a rapist, fucking, I think that should be a capital crime. That should be a freaking executable offense, you know what I mean? It's just, I don't think we should be running around telling women that getting raped is worse than murder. You'll never recover from it. It's going to end your life. You're just going to freaking live with it forever. Don't give these rapists that kind of fucking power, you know? That's just endowing these guys with a power to ruin somebody even worse than a fucking murderer is. And that shouldn't be how it is, you know?
And the chick's name, by the way, the chick who was raped, the one that gave the lecture, her name was Elizabeth Smart.
Elizabeth, okay.
Yeah, she was she was. I forgot where she was raped. She was raped.
Elizabeth Smart.
Yeah.
Wasn't somebody kidnapped named Elizabeth Smart too?
Yeah.
That was her.
Oh, the same girl.
I think so.
God damn.
Damn. Rescued 9 months later.
She had a fucking.
Oh, okay. Here we go. Abducted at her home from age 14, chained and raped in 9 months ordeal. She eventually escaped. Her captors are in jail. Brian David Michelle is serving 2 life terms, and Wanda Barzi sentenced to 15.
You know, that's crazy because I was reading a story about another guy. I can't remember his name, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But he was doing like he had built like a tractor trailer specifically to chain women and capture women, chain them in there, and rape these chicks, right? And okay, that's obviously some demented fucking piece of shit, okay? But what was crazy is he had like 2 or 3 different girlfriends during that time. All of them that he brought into that trailer to help him rape these girls. All of them who were down with it.
Yeah.
Like, how the fuck do you find a bitch that will be, oh yeah, we're gonna rape this girl? Oh, well, yeah, I'm down. Yeah, give me the pliers too. Like it really was he just attracting like-minded crazy fucking people, or was that shit contagious and they just fucking caught onto it?
Well, the question would be well, that's actually going to be a terrible question, but where did this happen?
I'll have to look it up. Hold on, I'll find it.
Yeah. I think there's certain states which we all kind of know where if a story like this were to come out, we're not shocked. Like if all of a sudden somebody comes out like there's a guy who's been raping women for the last 10 years in West Virginia, even though it's a terrible story, none of us are really going, well, I'm completely shocked it came out of West Virginia.
Yeah.
It would be like getting shocked about, a cross burning in Texas. It's like,
Yeah, shit happens.
It's Texas, or like, and again, terrible thing to say, but same thing. Like,
Mississippi.
Or Mississippi, or Border Patrol harassing Hispanics in Arizona.
Harassing us. God
Yeah.
damn. We got harassed on the way back to San Diego. Shit.
Yeah.
Away from San Diego.
Yeah. It's one of those things where you kind of go, it's a terrible way to put this, but it's just one of those things like, that is an endemic characteristic of that area. But that's why I was asking where it's from. But either way, I don't know, man. I don't know, especially if you're saying that he brought like 3 girls in there. I don't.
Oh no, dude! Like they never found out how many it was, but
at least one of them went in.
He did it for 3. Oh, you're talking about girlfriends? Yeah, my bad.
Yeah.
The girls he kidnapped, there was like it numbered in the dozens. Okay.
Jeez.
And here's the worst part of it. Dude never got his comeuppance. Like, one girl escaped, and I mean, it was like a horror movie escape. Like, she broke free. The girlfriend at the time tried to stop her. Bitch put her down with an ice pick. Okay? Didn't kill her, but freaking took her down with an ice pick and went running out into the fucking road to go find help. And that's when this thing finally blew wide open. But he ended up like, he was an old guy at that time, and by the time they finally convicted him and said this, I think he served 9 months and died of a heart attack.
God damn.
So he never even really got his comeuppance for it, Karma never made it back around for him. That's one of those times when I wish I was religious and, hope this guy was burning, but fuck, man, that's cold shit.
See, this is one of these
that amazed me is that he kept getting women, his girlfriends, to join in with him,
Hey,
he didn't break up with them. He broke up with those other 2 bitches, and they didn't go to the police. Like, hey, fuck this guy. I'm gonna get him in jail.
But how? I mean, this is where I'm tempted to make certain connections. Like, here's where I'm tempted to say stuff like, I would almost bet my bottom dollar this guy's religious. I'm tempted to say that because that's the only type of person I could think of that would say, I have the right to do this. This is my judgment from a position of power on someone else because I know something. Kind of like, you guys ever watched that movie Black Snake Moan with Samuel L?
Yeah.
Yeah, like kind of how
Heard about it.
He's kind of the hero in that. He grabs this white broad who's a quote-unquote sinner to reform her, Now, granted, he's not raping her in the movie, but still.
At least that we saw.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Samuel Jackson did rape off camera. Bill Cosby did.
3-point shot from the bar.
3-point shot.
That's terrible. Terrible.
Man, it's crazy I can't find
Miley on her
It was. I remember hearing about it on the news, like way back in the day, and then somebody brought like he recorded these messages on these tapes so that when these girls would wake up, like he would drug them and knock them out. They would wake up and this recording would start playing like some Saw shit, where he's just like threatening them, like this is what's gonna happen to her. You could scream if you want. You're just gonna get beat. If you try and run, you're gonna get beat. Like I mean, horrible shit he was saying, and it was ridiculous, man. But that was the crazy part to me is he kept bringing people into it, and they joined in. Nobody was like, "Oh wait, this is too much. I'm going to the cops." You know?
Hey, who's the guy with the swastika on his head?
Oh, Charles Manson.
Yeah, there's some weak-willed people out there that can be. We all know one or two people in our lives that if we wanted to, we actually could manipulate.
Yeah.
Maybe he's just one of those guys that knows how to attract those kind of people and just manipulate. I mean, there's no excuse for what he did. Right now, we're just trying to figure out how the fuck he did it.
Yeah, I can't. It's amazing. I'll probably find it right after the show, but I can't find it right now. But it was horrible, man. Like, and I just couldn't believe that shit. It was ridiculous. But that's my back to the topic. That's my only worry. You know, I don't want to sit here and say murder is worse than rape. Obviously, and especially as a guy, you know, rape is not as relevant as a topic. You know, men getting raped. Well, I've heard the statistics are closer, but at the end of the day, a guy doesn't worry about rape like a woman does. You know,
Yeah, we're not walking down the street clutching our purses and whatnot.
Yeah,
with keys in our knuckles.
Yep. But I just don't want to get in the habit of telling rape victims and broadcasting it that your life is destroyed. You know, it may very well be, but let's give her the best shot possible to move forward. You know, let's not give that guy that power to just ruin her fucking life forever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
fact, Gabrielle Union, she's actually, I think, a rape victim, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. But here's go ahead, my bad, sorry.
No, I'm saying if I'm not sure if you heard about it, if I'm not mistaken.
But I was gonna say it does come back to something you said before. I'm pretty sure you said something along the lines a little earlier in the show, but not exactly the way you said it before. We've had a conversation about this in the past. In fact, I think we might have had the conversation last night. There is an issue here of, I have to be honest, I don't recall men putting down rape victims. Usually, it's women. And I'm putting an asterisk on the statement I'm making here because I have no proof. This is entirely opinion based. I may be wrong. But in my personal experience, the judgmental ones when it comes to a rape victim that's female are usually other females.
Oh.
It's usually not the men going around telling this broad, I'm not going to touch you, you're tainted goods. It's usually women ostracizing these broads for that kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean,
As
yeah.
far as I've experienced anyway.
I don't have any sources on that, but that's kind of the feeling I get too. You know, like
if anybody out there in the internet land has a different opinion and has some like provable resource, please bring forward. It'd be fantastic. But it's either way. You're right. It's I just think it's, and this is a conversation we're gonna have another time about that I'm trying to work on. But I think it is more of a woman support thing that men should be made more aware of, but women also have a huge hand in fixing this problem.
Yeah.
If women banded together to support women more, this wouldn't be an issue. I know right now I'm sounding kind of like when white people on the news go, where's the black leadership to stop shit? It sounds ridiculous, but there is a certain sense I get that whenever I've seen an issue like that, most of the time when I hear someone speaking negatively of the incident, it isn't the men, because the men are extremely careful about how they tiptoe around a conversation of rape around women. It's the women that are usually the most comfortable about stuff like, poor girl, but I don't want her to come into my party.
You know, and I've seen it like in the news. Like I used to be in the news comment section. Like I'd see posts and see, okay, what are people talking about? And I remember one time it was this girl who got raped by like 3 guys, and these guys didn't only just rape her, they like shoved beer bottles inside her, ended up like damaging her fucking pelvis bone. Like I think they put I mean, it was ridiculous. And people were arguing, well, I don't think she didn't want it. She probably just regrets it afterwards. And practically all the time I saw somebody saying that, it was a woman.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, what? No, I don't think any woman wants to be fucked hard enough that their bones get broken. Okay? I've been with some down-ass chicks, never had that fucking occur. Okay? So I have a hard time believing it. And it was at least, I mean, really, I can't even think of a time that I responded to a guy saying, hey, she knew what she was getting into.
Yeah.
And that whole Josh Stetter thing, the kid who molested his little sisters, I saw a bunch of women saying, hey, we all played doctor as kids. You guys are just harping on. That's not doctor. Okay, he was 15-year-old molesting a sleeping 5-year-old. That's not playing doctor in any way that I've ever fucking seen it played. Okay?
Right.
So, and every time I responded to somebody saying bullshit like that, it was a fucking woman saying it, And it was obviously a really religious woman who watched the fucking show. And in their defense, I think that, I would guess at least all the people I know who watched that show were all women. So maybe that's, tainting the fucking, the results here. But I don't know, man. It just seems terrible to me to endow these rapists with more power for what? I mean, to get a high score on the who got it worse fucking category? I don't think this is the method we should be going,
True. I agree. But how do you change it is the question. How do you change it?
Well, I'm pretty sure we can't. No man's opinion is gonna fucking fly anywhere with this shit. You know what I mean?
Mm.
You can't even kind of say good morning to these women without. Oh, really? It's good. What's good for fucking white fucking cisgendered Americans, I guess. Oh,
is it good because your penis was erect this morning? Is it good?
Yeah, we looking
God
at
damn.
the subway and thinking about raping her.
There you go. I'm sorry.
Maybe.
Good morning, motherfucker. My car broke down today. Right,
you don't think about our. What about that trans girl who died yesterday? You think it's a good morning for her? Fuck.
That's where you slowly slide into Donald Trump mode. She had blood coming out of her eyes, out of her
Chinese.
everywhere.
Well, I'd be like Chinese. That's why. Why the Chinese?
My toupee just appears on the top of my head.
That was my topic. Do we want to run a third one, or we just want to end it?
Nah. Let's wrap it up. I think it's pretty solid. We've run these people ragged. Any parting shots, guys?
Of course I do.
Of course.
Parting shot.
Go ahead.
I got two. Well, actually, I could probably tell my small story, but I actually got two. One, Black America.
Uh-oh.
We don't have to be a nigga everywhere we go.
Here we go.
We don't.
Here we go.
I'm at Enterprise. By the way, I'll tell you guys about that when we get out. I'm at fucking Enterprise today, filling out my tax stuff because I got the job. Filling out, going in detail, filling that shit out. And I'm in there, and there's a few other people in there. One girl, another girl, and a guy. So I'm in there, I'm filling the shit out. This girl answers her phone in the middle of filling her tax shit. Hello? Yeah. How you doing? Oh, yeah, you was geeking that night. Yeah, we was fucked up. Legit, why the lady is sitting right there? Then she gets up like, where y'all bathroom at? The lady looks at me, then looks at her and like, you talking to me? Like, yeah. Where y'all bathroom at? She's like, down this way. Okay. The other guy answers. He's all on the phone. I'm like, dude, we as Black America, we gotta do better. We gotta do better. Jesus Christ. You don't have to be a nigga everywhere. We gotta do better than this. I understand that's a tax thing. You're not in an interview, but still has some professionalism. Motherfuckers just cussing and shit. You gotta do better.
Man, I tell you, when I was doing interviews, I remember one time, it wasn't me doing an interview, it was a coworker of mine. I was sitting at the desk next to her. She was interviewing somebody, I was doing my thing. And as she's interviewing this guy, he gets a call, right? And he's like, hey, can I take this? And she's like, go ahead, whatever. He answers it, and he talks for like 10 seconds and turns to her and says, hey, this is a private conversation. And she's like, okay. He's like, is there somewhere you can go? We're sitting in her office. She like looks around to make sure that this is her office and says, no, but you could feel free to leave. And man, you should have seen how hurt of feelings this guy is. He thought she was the rudest chick that he had ever encountered, man. Got up, stomped out, and came back a little while later just to be let back out again. We'll call you. No one ever called you that.
Of course not.
Jesus Christ. That's hilarious. I actually do have a second story, though. It's not a big story, but it's pretty funny to me. So, apparently, the
Look, man, you need to adjust those TVs.
Snapchat, she kind of wondered who in the hell am I talking about? 'Cause I thought she knew, but apparently she doesn't. She's like, who in the hell are you talking about? I'm like, oh, there's some girl who I asked out. Say what?
Jesus.
Wait,
Can you hear him?
No. You're breaking up.
You're breaking up like crazy, man.
All right, can you hear me now?
No,
Okay.
you're sounding like dubstep.
All right, now can you hear me?
Now we can, yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck, I had my pinky over the goddamn hole. Anyway, what part did y'all stop at that y'all didn't hear?
The very beginning.
Yeah.
Okay.
You started your freaking Diplo remix from there.
Okay, fuck it. Pretty much, whatever day may bring her homegirl works in my store, and I put up a Snapchat about her, and she was wondering who in the fuck I was talking about. I guess whatever day may bring didn't tell her homegirl about it, so her homegirl was like, yeah, what happened? I'm like, oh, I pretty much asked this girl out, and she didn't answer me when I was like, hey, are we going out? So the funniest thing in the world, and I think happened to me, because she was like, oh, well, you know what? Fuck that bitch. That's what I say. I say fuck that bitch. Not knowing that I'm talking about her homegirl, which is pretty fucking hilarious. She was like, you know what I say? She was like, I would say fuck that bitch, not talk to her ever again. I'm like, you know what? You're absolutely right. December. That's all I keep saying to people now right there. How about you do this? December. That's it. Fuck it.
What was yours, Jonathan Esther? It was like November 15th or something like that?
About what?
When you were getting out of the Marine Corps?
Oh, yeah. Jesus.
Yeah.
Like, the entire deployment, I had to hear that shit out of his mouth. Man, we gotta go freaking clean the shit out of that building over there. November 15th, man. November 15th.
I almost left for Canada a couple times. Yeah, I don't even know.
Yeah, man. Dog, honestly, at this point, like, December's almost here, and it really can't, like, the place I'm about to start working at, which is going to be weird, the place I'm about to start working at is near airport, and I'm just very tempted just to catch one of those motherfucking planes and leave. Car and everything, just leave with the clothes I got on my back.
Just jump on the fucking ditch. You make it. You're fine. It's one of the nice things about being a young single guy. You can make it practically anywhere,
There you go. There you goddamn go.
What about you, Mr. Esther? It's your party shot.
Look, I have a problem here. All right. Unfortunately, for the first time in a long time, I'm gonna have to go the route of co-conscience here and talk to Black America, but one Black American in particular. This lady right here. Can you guys see that, broad?
No, not yet. Is it Rachel? Oh
no. Is it Rachel? I think. Hold on. What's her name?
It's not. Harris Faulkner?
I'm trying to find out her name, but this Faulkner, yeah, Faulkner. All right. Mrs. Harris Faulkner is a Fox News anchor, which already tells you a lot about her being a woman, black Fox News anchor. A lot to unpackage there. But anyway, she is suing Hasbro because they made a toy that she claims looks like her and has her name.
That toy looks like her?
Supposedly, according to her.
Okay.
Harris Faulkner sued Hasbro this week over its plastic Harris Faulkner hamster, sold as part of the Pawtucket, Rhode Island-based company's tight little pet story. All right, look. Granted, there is a weirdness here with it having her exact name.
Harris Faulkner.
That being what?
Oh, never mind. It actually is a Faulkner. Never mind. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. I think the toy is actually called the Harris Faulkner, like the Yet Lady, but I don't think that's enough of a case to say it looks like me, I should be getting royalties.
Look at that haircut on that lady. That is the most white woman haircut I've ever seen.
That's why I said when I was like black lady Fox News anchor, there's a lot to unpackage there all in itself.
Yeah.
But she's probably pretty whitewashed for white people. But anyway, I don't think this is necessary. I think it's a little ridiculous to sue Hasbro because a toy, what is that? A toy hamster? You think a toy hamster looks like you?
My daughter got one of those littlest pet shop things. That thing is like the size of a thimble, I guarantee it. Okay?
That's exactly why it's amusing to me. Because to me, let's look at it even in the negative context this lady's making. Let's put it like, hey, they're selling my likeness without my permission. Are you about to go to court and prove that that hamster, that tiny little pet shop plastic hamster, looks like you? There's so much that can go wrong in that particular moment where you're describing to the court why this toy looks like you in anything but name.
Yeah.
Like racist people don't already have enough jokes. Now you want them having jokes about black women looking like hamsters? Come the fuck on.
Look at eyes on this freaking thing too. One's looking down and fucking left, then up and left. Who the fuck designed this toy? I need to talk to these people.
Well, I don't know. I don't know, man. But all I'm saying is I'm going to have to co-sign with Cold Conscience here. Y'all can't be niggas everywhere, black people. Jesus Christ.
You know what that kind of reminds me of is Disney sued a town that put up a Yogi Bear statue. Oh, no, Winnie the Pooh statue, I'm sorry. They sued them for putting up a Winnie the Pooh statue, which sounds legitimate, right? I mean, Winnie the Pooh, obviously that's Disney shit, you know? Except it turns out Winnie the Pooh is actually modeled after a real bear. Like this town had like a bear mascot, Winifred or Winnipeg or some shit like that. Disney, or whoever, I don't think it was Disney, whoever took that idea for Winnie the Pooh took it from that bear. That was the original namesake of that fucking thing. That town put up a statue about that bear that was their mascot, and Disney sued them. It's like, you took the idea from our fucking bear, now we put up a statue for our bear, and you come and sue our ass. Like, what the fuck is going on here, you know?
A lot.
I don't think Disney, I think that town ended up surviving. But that's gotta be a scary name to get sued by Disney. You know, somebody with that much money behind them. You know, that's even if you're right, you still might lose. You know.
Yeah, but that was it for me. That was my parting shot. You guys all done?
Yeah. Well, one thing, my parting shot is, if any of our female viewers, 3 of you, want to try raping me until I feel like I'm being raped. You know what? This for research purposes. Go in the dark. I'm willing to go down with this. Okay?
For the greater good, Alone in the Dark has volunteered to be raped by 3 women.
maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I can be raped. I just want you guys to prove it for me. So that's all
No,
I got.
no matter what they look like, as long as they have a vagina.
As long as there's 3 of them, and you can all hit on a side of bed. Okay.
Jesus
All right,
Christ,
man.
you
That's
fuckers.
been the show. I've been your host, Jonathan Esther out of California.
This is Alone in the Dark, waiting to get raped.
This is what I do when I get home. Cold conscience.
That's better. You used to do that before you got left work. Put all those fucking Cheetos bags up. Well,
All right, man.
Man,
That's been the show. Y'all have a good one, America.
see you.
yeah, we're getting fucking 2 weeks from them. Fuck my job.